Hai semuanya, this is a very special night. Karena malam ini di live Instagram aku akan live dengan seseorang yang aku admire banget. And we're gonna talk in English, unless he can speak Indonesian. So, aku akan live dengan Vision Lakiani. Vision Lakiani adalah founder dari Mind Valley. Mind Valley adalah sebuah personal growth company, one of the biggest personal growth company in the world right now. He's also a New York Times best-selling author with his 2 books. Buku pertamanya berjudul The Code of the Extraordinary Mind. Dan buku yang kedua baru aja rilis bulan Juli ini berjudul The Buddha and the Badass. And in this live session, live Instagram, I'm gonna talk with him about how to merge and combine spirituality with life success and finding our purpose. Okay, so I'm still waiting for him to join me. Okay, we're still waiting for Vision to join, and I am super thrilled and excited for this. Okay, nah buat teman-teman, kalau misalnya ada pertanyaan apapun, bisa tanya aja di comment section. And if we have the opportunity, I'm gonna ask the question to him. Karena aku hanya punya waktu live selama setengah jam. Vision dari Tallinn di Estonia, that's where he is living right now. And oh, this is Vision. Hi Vision, can you join us? Okay. Go live. I can do this. Okay. I'm inviting you to join this video. Oh my god, this is so exciting. Okay, it's connecting, and now we're live.
Hey, hi, and hi to all the Marshanda fans out there. I'm just getting my machine set up. Awesome, can you guys hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you. How are you, Vision?
Saya sungguh baik.
Oh my god, bisa bahasa Indonesia ya?
Sedikit-sedikit saya boleh cakap bahasa Melayu, bukan bahasa Indonesia, tapi saya boleh cakap sedikit bahasa Melayu. Dah 6 tahun saya belajar bahasa Melayu.
Oh, 6 tahun belajar bahasa Melayu. You were born and raised in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, right?
Right. Yeah, saya dari Malaysia.
Yeah, Vision dari Malaysia. So do you prefer we're talking English atau di dalam bahasa?
We'll speak in English. My bahasa, I know a few words, but it kind of stops there.
Right. Okay. It's totally either way is awesome. So this is a very wonderful opportunity that you gave to me to have this live session with you. I'm such a huge fan, and I've been a student of Mind Valley since I think 3 years ago. And I'm so happy to be able to reconnect with you through this live session, because the last time we met was in Croatia, in Mind Valley University.
And you were amazing. So for your fans out there, I want to explain this. So we did a graduation party for our entire university, and we went to this ancient site where the Romans would mine stones to build their coliseums. There was a beautiful stage there, and Marshanda got on. And she sang a beautiful song amidst all of these beautiful lights lighting up the cliffs and the caves for the closing party of Mind Valley University. And I was so proud when you sang in Bahasa. I was so proud because that is my second language. And we were all the way in Croatia, and I remember I had like almost tears coming down my eyes when I heard you singing in Bahasa.
Oh wow, thank you so much. This is the first time you share with me what you think about that performance, because that night meant so much for me and the community of Mind Valley. So currently, Mind Valley, for those of for my followers here, who let me introduce you. So Vision is the founder of Mind Valley, and Mind Valley is one of the biggest personal growth company in the world right now. And he's also the book author, the New York Times best-selling book author of 2 books. The first is The Code of the Extraordinary Mind, and the second, which is just released this July, right? It was July 9th, The Buddha and the Badass.
Right.
Yeah. And so let's just go straight to my first question, because we only have 30 minutes. So my first question is, what is the atmosphere in the inner being of vision on your average day?
Mm. So let's go back to the title of my book, The Buddha and the Badass. Okay, so when we talk about the Buddha and the Badass, that is actually a metaphor for that state. So many people get this confused. They go in a state of hustle, push, struggle, strive to get something done, to get their work done, to start their company. But the problem with just the hustle, the work hard relentlessly, is that it can create imbalance, it can create stress, it can put you in a place where your work extracts from you. Mm-hmm. That state is important because very often people in that state, which I call the badass, they are the ones who are changing the world. They are the ones who are running for office. They are the ones who are building companies. They are the ones who are writing books. They are pushing humanity forward. But you want to do that with the Buddha in you also being listened to, being heard. And what that Buddha is asking for is peace, calmness, quietude, the ability to go within, to listen to your intuition, to follow your bliss, to move between hustle and relaxation. So my day is a reflection of both. I'm very tight about my work hours. When I work, I'm super productive. But when I play, and you've seen me play because we've been to Mind Valley University parties together, when I play or when I take care of myself, I'm relentlessly going into the mode of like relaxation and meditation and self-study and self-improvement. So the Buddha and the Badass simply means that you got to reconcile those two aspects of yourself, the disruptor, the hustler, with the Buddha, the person of inner peace, the person who takes time away from work to rejuvenate and relax. And you put that together, I believe that creates two things. Mm-hmm. One, your life becomes so much more joyous and beautiful. But the second thing is that you move towards your goals faster, not slower. Hard work is a myth. You move towards your goals faster because you're tapping into your inner spiritual core. You're tapping into intuition. You're tapping into your mind's ability to guide you. You're tapping into what we call synchronicity or coincidence, and you move towards your goals faster. Now, what was it for you, Marshanda? You became incredibly successful in your home country. I'd love to hear. What was your secret? What did you do?
I think my secret was I started my career since I was 7 years old. And then I did my first TV series when I was 12. And when I look back to those very, very successful beginning, I think the secret was me believing that I embody what I want to be. I believe that I am embodying my dreams, and I just keep that between me and the universe. I never, I was only a kid. I didn't do any goal setting, life planning and writing them down, but I was always believing that I am one with what I want to become. Mm. And then the how, I didn't know how to do all this. I didn't know how to act, how to sing. And then everything was just unfolding so easily, so fast, and so massively. And it was just all felt so easy until one day I realized that I never realized it was that successful back then, if you know what I mean. So for me, it was believing that I can become what I dream of.
Right. I like that. Believing that you can become what you dream of. But surely belief isn't just enough. There's surely something else to it. What do you think that something else was?
I think it was being connected with our higher self and intuition, just like what you said. Because when we're connected to it, we will attract, like what you always teach through Mind Valley, we will attract the right people, the right circumstances, the right conversations, the right opportunities. They just come and things just unfold but we have to do the work, of course. But as an actor, I read, so I'm going to go to the second question, which is, so just a few months ago, I read this very, very captivating quote by a very famous legendary actor. His name is Jim Carrey. And he said, this, I think everybody should get rich and famous and do everything they ever dreamed of so they can see that it's not the answer. So I want to know
Right.
what you think about that quote. How do you see
I,
that? What's happening there?
yeah, no, I love Jim Carrey. By the way, I was a big Jim Carrey fan,
Ah.
and Jim Carrey inspired me. So first, I just want to share a story about Jim Carrey, which I think is going to be really interesting here. So when Jim was young, Jim famously was sleeping in his car. He was a stand-up comedian. He was sleeping in his car. This was like the late 80s, right? And he has a story, I think he told it on Oprah Winfrey, about how he wrote a check to himself. And the check was $20 million to Jim Carrey. And it was very interesting. In 1994, Jim Carrey's career suddenly took off. He got cast in a role called Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. And that movie became a runaway hit. And then that same year, he got cast in The Mask and then Dumb and Dumber. Before you know, 1 year, 1994, Jim Carrey, who was sleeping in his car, became one of the biggest names in Hollywood. And the following year, he got offered to play a role in a movie called The Cable Guy. And he got offered $20 million in that role, one check. And so it's really funny. He manifested that. He wrote that check to himself and carried it in his wallet for many years. And that check came true. So I was just going into college when I read that story. It was 1994. Jim Carrey was my favorite comedian. And I was an actor back then. And so I really looked up. Yeah, I used to act in theater in Malaysia. So I wrote a check as well. My check was from Vishen Lakhiani to the world, $1 billion. And I put the date May 2049, because that would be 50 years from the time I graduated. So I took that lesson from Jim, but I didn't feel I wanted to pursue the money. I wanted to give the money. So I wanted, because I figured if I could give away $1 billion, it means I would have to, obviously I'd be leading a rich life, because I would be able to, the money would have to go through me. So that is what propels me forward. I want to give $1 billion worth. I want to be able to write $1 billion away to the world to support causes I believe in. To me right now, that is unity politics and the environment.
Okay.
Now, back to Jim Carrey's quote. Jim is right, because I am very wealthy right now, but it no longer matters. Like I can buy the apartment I want, I can buy any car I want. It isn't what keeps me happy. I Uber everywhere, and here I have a bicycle, not a car, because I just like cycling. I like walking. The money isn't important. What really makes me fulfilled is building things that can better humanity. And that's why I think we got to flip it around. So you want to take two lessons from Jim Carrey. You want to take the lesson of going from the guy sleeping in your car to the guy or girl who has the money, who has the fame. Because if you're sleeping in your car and you don't have a home, then the money does matter. But once you get to a certain level of money, it no longer increases your happiness. Then what increases your happiness is something called serving. What gives you fulfillment is serving, is building, is creating, it's following your heart. Now, science has actually studied this. They have mapped happiness to income. And after you earn about $75,000 US a year, if you're living in America, obviously outside America it's going to be less. But after $75,000 US a year, money no longer makes you happy. There are other things that you want to do to increase your happiness. Friends, health, serving, and so on. So Jim is right, but it depends on your perspective. If you don't have a home, you're sleeping in your car, you need the money. Set goals for money, get stable. But once you get the magic number, 75, I don't know what the equivalent would be in Malaysia. Maybe in Malaysia it would be about 30,000 USD. I don't know what it would be for Indonesia. Then you got to have something that is bigger than money to pull you forward, or you will fall in that trap of continuously hustling for money. And you may be rich, you may live the big house, you may drive the dream car, but it's not scientifically going to increase your happiness.
Yeah, so that reminds me too.
I like what I did. I like what I did because I'm going to be a billionaire, right? To me, that's just inevitable. That's maybe 3-4 years away. But I'm going to give away $1 billion. And that's why I wake up every day, because I know what I can do with that. I know that I can actually, I want to help move humanity to an earth-conscious civilization. In scientific terms, it's called being net positive to nature. It's ensuring that our species, for every year we are on the planet, makes the earth healthier and doesn't extract from the planet. I need to be a billionaire because I need to influence government, education, the way humanity functions as a species. I can't slow down for that. But that is what brings me happiness. Every day that I'm working towards that, I'm happy. It's not about the money. It's about what I'm doing with the money.
Right. So there are some people I know who are very, very smart, very intelligent. They can create like therapies and cures for people with certain critical illnesses, and then they have a very altruistic heart, and they're very, very highly spiritual. But it seems like these people are not into creating a lot of money, which I don't really understand why. But from what you shared, actually creating a lot of money is not a thing that we should avoid, because some people do that. They have certain beliefs about making a lot of money, you know, like it's somehow a bad thing. But actually,
Right.
with more money, you can create bigger impact in the world.
Right. But money is just one of many goals. So in Mind Valley, we teach a methodology called Life Book. And Life Book gets you to set goals in different areas of your life.
Yes.
Money is just one of 12 different areas. The other areas are character. Character is, what are your values? What is your character? How are you contributing to others? What is your level of discipline? Another one is emotional. What are your emotional states? What is your emotional states of bliss and peace? Are you a person who's always angry? Are you a person who's calm? But then you also look at your family. You look at what type of parent are you? What type of friend are you? And you set goals for all of this. Money is important, but it's just as important as setting goals to be a good mother or father if you have children, setting goals to be a good friend if you have friends, setting goals to take care of your health, for your character, for your emotional state, for your career, for your creative ability. It's one of maybe 12 things. So in the Mind Valley philosophy, we look at 12 different areas of life. Money is just one. The problem is that many people, we are trained in our world to look at money as the number one. And that's what causes dysfunction. So that's what Jim Carrey meant. He's not saying money isn't important. He's saying if it's the only thing you're chasing, you may be going down the wrong path, because he's been there. Jim is ridiculously wealthy.
Yes, yes. Okay, so I want to ask about your daily routines. How does it look like? Like in combining the Buddha and the badass in you, what do you do on a daily basis?
Well, the most important thing is the 6-phase meditation, right? It's meditation. Now, one of the things that you guys should know is that, so I created a meditation routine for people who are performers, for people who want to give their best in the world, but also get the benefits of meditation. Now, you can get this free on Mind Valley's app, Om Vana, OMVANA, Om Vana. There's a free class there on the 6-phase meditation. And actually, we just launched this app this week with tons of free content. So it's free right now. So go check it. There are tons of incredible talks, interviews, lessons, including from people like Jay Shetty, David Goggins, and my own classes on Om Vana. So go check it out. It is a great way to get started with meditation.
That's wonderful. So that's one of your routines, which is meditation. And what else?
That's the number one routine. It's the number one routine. You get that right, everything else falls in place.
That's amazing. Okay. So another question I'd like to ask you is, if you see yourself 3 years ago, like back in 2017, and if you see yourself now, what evolution that is occurring the most in you? You know, like seeing how Mind Valley grows so massively in the past few years, and you must evolve in many, many ways. How do you...
So I become a new person every 4 weeks. Every 4 weeks, I upgrade myself. Every 4 weeks, my worldview, my mentality, my way of functioning, my skills, it upgrades.
Through certain practices?
The what?
Through some practices or some kind of exercise?
I'm a product of my product. I'm going through everything in Mind Valley. If you haven't been in touch with me for 4 weeks, If you come and have coffee with me, I'm a different person because I've learned new things. I've developed my brain. I've developed my health. My body has changed. My hair, my physique, my body, my energy levels, my mentality, my skills, the way I speak, the way I communicate, everything is constantly evolving. So typically, like, if you're a friend of mine and we haven't kept in touch, if you suddenly meet me 4 weeks later, I will be a different person because I cannot stay still. But that is life. Life to me is about growth. Growth is the number one thing.
I totally agree. So in a way, it's like being inconsistent with who you are, but in a way that you are growing because you keep learning new things. You keep upgrading yourself to become.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. But it's also why you grow. Now you can grow just for personal satisfaction. But if you can attach that growth to a mission, now that becomes really powerful. So my mission is to make humanity net positive to nature. That's my mission. Mind Valley is actually a means to that mission. I want to ensure that we don't ruin the planet. That's it, right? But I'm not going to go out there by planting trees. That's not an efficient way. I want to do it by rewriting the entire script of human education and then getting this education platform into every government in the world so that we can retrain how the population behaves towards nature and towards themselves.
That is wow. Okay.
So that is why I have to constantly upgrade myself. So right now, to do that, I have to go into AI. I have to build an artificial intelligence mechanism to plug into our system. So now I'm learning about data science. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm building, learning, working with AI specialists. That's my obsession.
Wow.
So I'll do whatever it takes to get there. But my goal is to ensure that the human species doesn't mess up the planet. Because I have a little girl, and I don't want her growing up in a world that is worse off than what I inherited.
Right.
And I would ask anyone watching to think about it in the same way. Make growth your goal, but add a bigger purpose to that as well. And that bigger purpose should be, what is it that you want to save, improve, enhance about the human experience for everyone? Maybe it's water. You want to, maybe it's education. A great way to start is to look at the United Nations and follow the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. So the United Nations created a list of 20 different areas that almost 12 million people across the world voted for in terms of focus areas for humanity. I think everyone, every entrepreneur, everyone who's watching should look at that list and go, okay, I want to contribute to clean water. I want to contribute to the environment. I want to contribute to more affordable education. I want to contribute to women's rights.
Wow.
If we can do that, I think the world is going to be an incredible place. But right now we don't. As a species, we are ridiculously stupid. I mean, just look, for example, at the rise of Donald Trump, Brexit. It's ridiculous. Right now, we are giving power to insane men who are nationalist and guiding the world in the wrong direction. The politicians we are voting for, from Bolsonaro to Putin to Trump, are holding us back. We need to educate people so we know who to vote for. And that's why I choose to do it, to upskill, up-level humanity by focusing on rebuilding education from the ground up.
Okay, so this, what you just explained to me, brings me back to the term that you coined, which is brule. So I think many of my followers doesn't know what it means. So can you please tell us the definition of what a brule is, and maybe you can share a little bit about what is the biggest brule that you had to bust through in your life?
So for me, the biggest brule was religion. We don't need religion. It holds you back. Now, I know it may be sensitive for us to speak about this because you're in Indonesia and I grew up in Malaysia. And I think Islam is a beautiful religion, but it shouldn't be forced on people. I think everyone should embrace all spirituality and all religion. I refuse to identify with one single religion. That's a rule, because instantly you've limited yourself. Spirituality is so much bigger. I study the Rumi. I study Hindu philosophy. I study Christ. I study Sufism. There's so much beauty in all the world's religion. Do not limit yourself to one religion. Religion is the single biggest fool. The idea that you need one religion is dangerous.
Wow, that's wow. So have you always been having this courage to speak up your minds as you grow up, or did you develop it through the years?
No, no. Ever since when I was 19 years old, I told my parents I was giving up religion. And all of us should tell our parents that we're giving up our religion, and none of us should decide that our children should grow up with the same religion as us. You can't. It's child abuse. It's dangerous. To me, it's as bad as child abuse. You are limiting the development, the spiritual development of your child. Religion is something that we all have to discover on our own. Your spirituality is meant to be discovered, not inherited. I want everyone to remember that. Your spirituality should be discovered, not inherited. You should have respect for all religions. I grew up in a Muslim country. I have so much respect for Islam. I've studied elements of Islam. I have deep appreciation for Islam, but I also have deep appreciation for Buddhism, for Christianity, for Hinduism. But I choose not to identify with any one, because once you identify with one, you limit yourself to others.
Yes. That's why I think you're saying that you're spiritual but not religious. That's where you are.
I'm spiritual but not uni-religious.
I see.
I believe in like what the Gandhi said. I'm a Hindu, and I'm a Muslim, and I'm a Christian, and I'm a Jew, and I'm a Buddhist. I'm all.
Okay. So a rule is actually stands for bullshit rule, right?
Right.
So it's not only about religion, it's about education, it's about any belief
religion is not bullshit. Religion is not bullshit. The idea that you have one religion and force that onto your children, that is bullshit.
Right.
I mean, would you want to only eat Indonesian food for the rest of your life?
Of course, I want to explore and learn more and
Exactly.
taste more.
So why is it that we don't do that? Why is it that we don't do that with our spirituality?
That's beautiful.
I want to pray like a Muslim, but I also want to be able to pray when I feel like it, like a Buddhist or a Christian.
This is very powerful. Beyond my expectation. This is very powerful. Yeah. Yeah.
And I want my children to decide. I don't like the fact that my children in Malaysia, they have to marry someone of their own religion. I don't like that. I don't like the fact, I'm no longer in Malaysia, so I can now speak freely about this, but I don't think it's right that in my country we have a national religion and that you are forced, if you are native Malay, you are forced to be Muslim. I think nothing wrong with Islam, but I think people should be given the choice. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
I don't like the fact that on my Malaysian passport, I cannot visit Israel. People should be given the choice.
Right. Okay. So I think we only have 2 minutes left. Is there anything you want to share?
Somebody said, skip about religion, please. It is too sensitive. Actually, it's not. Everyone watching is saying they agree. They are smiling. We believe it's sensitive, so we don't talk about it. Let's not avoid that. So the other thing is that I strongly support gay rights. I want to see Malaysia and Indonesia legalize gay marriage. Is it sensitive for me to say that? No. But we believe it's sensitive, so we don't talk about it. And because we don't talk about it, millions of people are not able to love the people they love. So let's stop saying things are sensitive. You can talk about things with respect. I never said religion is wrong. I said religion is beautiful, so beautiful that we should explore all religions. I said love is amazing, so amazing that you should be able to love anyone you want, even if you're gay. And we should allow gay people to get married in Malaysia and Indonesia.
Wow, this is just so powerful. Oh my God, what a very, very awakening 30 minutes. So I think we've come to the end of our conversation because you say you only have 30 minutes. Oh my God, I wish I have like half an hour with you, but it's okay. So this has been really, really empowering. And I hope to have another session with you in the future. We can work together in any way. And this has been wonderful, Vision. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Marshanda, and thank you for spreading Mind Valley amongst your audience. So if you want to go to our Ombana app, O-M-B-A-N-A, Ombana, and we are bringing a lot of wisdom, a lot of ideas. It's a very powerful meditation app. And you can learn about so many different things in Om Vana. And one of the things that we're going to do is we're going to start bringing in spiritual practices from the world's religions, from multiple religions into Om Vana. So you can discover beautiful meditations from other religions. We would love to bring in Indonesian meditation, Indonesian traditions into Om Vana. So if you have any connections for that, I would love to hear from you.
Oh, okay. No problem.
Okay.
I would love to contribute. Thank you so much, Vision. Thank you so much for this.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Marshanda.